Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hardcore Wrestling Radio. I am your hardcore host, and for this edition, we're going to be covering the pay-per-view series this Sunday, Payback.
And for all you fans like I am, who's happy that TNA's going out of business, let's do the Daniel Bryan chants. Yes, yes, yes.
Now, they're doing the kickoff show, Ryback versus Kalisto in another match for the U.S. title. Ms. Jack Shit, who also watches wrestling with me, she's like, he doesn't even belong on the kickoff match. What's he even doing on the card?
He even be in the arena.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it's kind of like I said. It's kind of like I said in the chat room.
He's the sort of person that should be sweeping it at the end of the night.
Well, I said if he thinks he's the best big man in the whole damn industry or something like that, he needs to be, and like, quote, wellness tested, because he's on something.
If I had to pick, I don't see Ryback winning this one. I think Kalisto's going to get it. If on the off chance that Ryback does get it, he's only going to be a transitional champion. Andy, over to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kalisto. I don't see Ryback winning an argument, let alone any type of championship.
No. And Lance, your thoughts?
Yeah, Kalisto, because, well, Ryback, why?
And Joe, we know how much you love Ryback. What's your pick, Ryback or Kalisto?
You know what? I'm going to surprise you guys. I think they're going to give it to Ryberg just to get it away from Botchamania himself, Kalisto, and just to take it on a different direction because it's been on this little kid for so long and he has proved nothing. So my pick is Ryback.
Well, and a lot of people would think that Ryback would be the one who's going to get the title. And if you ask me, I think it'd be a mistake because what happens when Ryback wins the title? Kalisto gets a rematch. So I would hope that Kalisto is going to get the title and then eventually drop it to somebody that's a little bit more respectable. John Cena busted his ass trying to get that U.S. title up to a higher standard, and it's now just down to where it was before he got the title. Let's move on to another topic. It's not really going to be a match, but Vince McMahon is going to be announcing who will control Raw. It's going to be Authority, Triple H or Stephanie, or Shane McMahon. Joe, over to you.
You know what? I got to say he's going to go to Shane O'Mac. And I can see Stephanie going with the Tripster to SmackDown to run it.
All right. Andy, over to you.
I'm gonna go for Shane. I think Vince is just gonna turn around and say he's proved himself, and let's give him a run up to probably SummerSlam or something like that to prove himself, so he can have a bit of a run with it.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna have to agree. And Lance, your thoughts?
Money talks.
The next match is Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, Corbin pretty much just targeted Ziggler. If I had to pick, and I would guess that they would probably give Baron Corbin the win because they really need to give him the push. Andy, over to you.
I'm going to go with Dick Ziggler, I think.
Lance, over to you, your pick.
While I'm a big fan of Ziggler, I see them giving it to Baron Corbin.
And then we also have Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. And again, this is just, I think Chris Jericho, if you ask me, is just helping to put Dean Ambrose over, especially considering his loss at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Joe, your thoughts?
You know what? I actually see, as much as I want to say Ambrose winning this, I got to give it to Jericho because I see this going a little bit longer than just this match. So I could see this actually heading a little bit further, maybe possibly another couple of matches and end up in SummerSlam. As far as my picks for Baron Corbin, I got to say Baron Corbin over the Zigzag Man.
Lance, your thoughts?
I'm going Lunatic Fringe because they got to give him, for after taking the ass whooping he took from Brock Lesnar, they got to give it, he has to go over against Y2J.
Andy, your thoughts?
I'm going to go with what the WWE think, and the WWE think that everyone thinks that Dean Ambrose is going to win, and I think he's not going to win it at all because that's what they want you to think. I think they've they've given you too many clues that he's going to win, and I think Chris Jericho's going to win fair and square. I don't think it's going to be a cheap win either. I think it's going to be a fair and square win, just so they can still have this feud, and I think Jericho's moulding him into a good character.
Well, the next match on the card is WWE's been having this tag team tournament for the #1 contenders match, and right now it's the Vaudevillains versus Mr. Cokehead and Colin Cassady. And now, obviously, when I say Cokehead, it's Enzo Amore, because every time I see him, it looks like he's amped up. And the big question in HWO is, how many lines is this guy doing? 1 line, 2 lines, or just an 8-ball? Joe, we've even seen Enzo Amore, and I think he's just holding Big Cass back.
You know, I gotta agree. He's holding the big man back, and I think it's just a matter of time. I think that WWE seasoning this guy up. I think they're giving Big Cass this break on Raw, on the main roster, just to get him, you know, more comfortable, and then they're gonna move him forward, because we all know Vince likes those big guys. So I think what's gonna happen here, you're gonna see Enzo and Cass win this, but somehow when they do get their shot at the Masters of the Booty-O, they're going to lose out because the Vaudevillains are going to just come out and interfere in that match. So give it to Enzo and Cass.
You know, and again, I'm not really a big fan of this tag team, and I feel that you are right, that Enzo and Cass are going to get the win, mostly due to popularity. Andy, your thoughts? I'm not sure if you're familiar with either Enzo and Cass or the Vaudevillains.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like either of them, but I think the big guy is going to get over.
And Lance, over to you.
The little short guy, just, I don't know, he needs a sedative.
Yeah, so Lance, over to you, your thoughts.
Well, I actually really like Enzo and Cass. Well, I honestly see Enzo getting over, because I don't think Cass quite has the mic skills just quite yet. But I also see Enzo and Cass going over.
All right. And, well, the next match on the card is the WWE Women's title match. It's going to be Charlotte versus Natalya. Now, we all agree over the past several months that Ric Flair's been kind of like, you know, stealing the spotlight from Charlotte. Other people say that it's Charlotte who's riding Ric Flair's coattails. And now Natalya decided to kind of even the score, so to speak, with her uncle Bret Hart being in the corner. Now, a lot of people are thinking that Bret Hart's going to get involved a lot, and Bret Hart made it very clear that he doesn't even want to really be there. He's just doing it to support his niece. He just recently had wrist surgery, so he's still not really 100%. So I don't think we're going to see any real interaction with him. I could be wrong, but that's just my initial thoughts. If I had to go for a pick, I'd like to see Natalya get the win. Andy, over to you.
I'd like to see Natalya get a win, but I don't know what it is about the Hart family. Vince just likes to shit all over him, so I think I've got more chance than she has. So I'm going to go for Charlotte.
Yeah, and you know, Natalya has been pretty much, the dog that gets beat, so to speak. And Lance, over to you. Your thoughts?
Well, one thing I've been kind of wondering is, I get Bret's a legend and everything. I get that. But Charlotte has Nate, her father. Everybody knows who Natalya's father is. Instead of having her damn uncle, why not have her dad?
Well, you really want to bring that?
Yeah, you know.
Drunk.
Well, one drunken asshole versus another drunken asshole.
True, but you know what?
I think the problem is there. Going on some of the shoot interviews I've heard, he's one of these people that takes the flight fare, takes the paycheck, and doesn't show his face.
Well,
Can we get Nate's that deal?
I don't think they're prepared to take that risk, saying we'll give you $50,000 to show up at your daughter's ringside, and he's like,
Anyway, I'll give it to Charlotte, because I just don't see them. While Maddie deserves it, I don't think they'll give it to her.
Yeah, and again, we made some interesting point regarding the Natalya and Charlotte with their Hall of Fame families. And while, yes, Ric Flair is, a fallen down drunk, we've seen that happen many times on Raw,
Hell, we've had the polls.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what it is. What you guys think about Nat? I think Natalya's on her last run.
And that's a strong possibility. But
I don't know whether it's her choice or the WWE choice, but it seems as though she's on her last run before she's due to hang up a gear. That's just how I feel.
It's a very possible, but I also think, again, I was trying to get to this point. The reason why I think Charlotte has more of a push, obviously, is because her father, Triple H, is a big mark for Ric Flair. Joe, over to you. Your thoughts.
Actually, you know what? And if you read Bret's comments, he's kind of given a little bit of both. He says he doesn't want to be there yet. He's talking about, oh, I would love to put the Nate in one more sharpshooter. So, you know how I see this going? I see Natty winning by disqualification and, you know, not winning the title, but I see the father and the uncle getting involved, and that's what's going to decide the match. So give it to Natalya by disqualification due to the Nate first getting involved, and Bret has to go in and do the sharpshooter.
All right. Now we have to get on an IC match, to get on to the title match. And for me, this is going to be a sleeper match. I have, it's going to be The Miz versus Cesaro. Now, I personally like Cesaro's new look, despite it's kind of like the James Bondish look. Actually, it's a James Bond ripoff. It's a blatant ripoff. But I have to admit, it's getting over the fans, and I kind of like it. It's definitely a different look for him. So if I had to pick someone who's going to win, I think Cesaro has a very strong chance. Andy, James Bond, pretty much started over in the UK. I don't know what your thoughts are about Cesaro's new look and his new gimmick.
He comes over to me as a mixture of James Bond and Jason Statham, who's an English actor. I don't know if you guys know him in America, but he comes over as that sort of person, and I hope he kicks the snot out of Miz and then goes and butt fucks his missus.
Lance, over to you, your thoughts.
I don't know how I'm going to go after that, but okay. But, yeah, I'm giving it to 00 Cesaro.
00 Cesaro, I like that. We can even hashtag that. Joe, your thoughts.
Here's another match I would like to give it to Cesaro, but they just gave the belt to The Miz, and they started this thing with him and Maurice. I'm going to say it's going to be The Miz. It's not going to be a clean win, but it's going to be a win for The Miz.
And that's a strong possibility. Now, here's the main match, which AJ Styles already has a WWE World title match. And we all have to admit, he has stepped over a lot of people very, very quickly. There are a lot of wrestlers who's been in the WWE for years who's never really gotten a number one contenders match, let alone a title match at a pay-per-view. Now, he's going to be facing Roman Reigns, who's a champion, right now, I think the big factor here is not whether AJ Styles is going to win or lose. I think it's more of what role is Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows going to play. Now, for the past couple of weeks, we've seen Gallows and Anderson kind of getting involved in AJ's matches, and AJ comes across that he's not happy about the situation. So you got to wonder if they're going to try to hold off the whole Bullet Club aspect until Finn Balor comes up, or are they going to start it early? I don't see AJ getting the win. This is going to be a big feather in his cap just for getting a contenders match, but I just don't see it happening. Joe, your thoughts?
You know what? I actually... It's really tough because I would like to see AJ go with this, but I think what we're going to see is I can see a good close match. The Usos are going to get involved. It's going to cost AJ the match, and then the Bullet Club is going to come down, and that's when you're going to see them finally unite against the Usos and Roman Reigns. So I actually see Reigns keeping the belt, but watch the Bullet Club and the Usos get involved. That's the best way he could save his belt right now. Reigns can save his belt, keep everybody involved without actually, losing his title right away. Because he just got it. I don't think he's going to, I don't really see him losing the belt right away.
Yeah, I have to agree. Andy, I'm not sure if you've been catching up with Gallows and Anderson and what's been going on with AJ. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't see AJ Styles winning, and I've posted a video on our chat room for you guys to have a look. Austin comes out with some valid points about AJ Styles. He says AJ Styles is phenomenal. He deserves to have that name, but he needs to change his image. He needs to get rid of the beard. He needs to get his hair cut short. Go back to what he did in TNA, because what he's doing at the moment is not working for the WWE. And I fully agree. He can have all the flamboyance, all the acrobatic moves, but as I've said before, and I don't want to upset Lance or anybody, but he just looks like a jumped up fucking hillbilly at the moment. And Austin agrees.
Son of a bitch.
Austin agrees. He needs to clean up the image and go back to the clean cut AJ Styles. First thing he says is, get that beard off, because you're reminding fans too much of yes, Daniel Bryan.
Exactly. I was about to say that. I think that's their answer to Daniel Bryan.
I got to disagree with everybody here because, while he doesn't have the full beard, the goat beard, as he was known for, Daniel Bryan was known for, I feel to be that it's a different look. He's got his beard is more clean cut. He's got the mullet, which, I know people, it's going to be give or take. We've seen AJ Styles clean cut, and, that was in his early, in his 20s. He's getting to that age now where he can't look like he's, a teenager. And I think that's what it's about. And, at the end of the day, his mic skills, his ring skills is really what counts at the end of the day. So, overall, I'm hoping that this pay-per-view is going to look good, but the Raw Go Home show just absolutely sucked. So we're all going to have to really wait and see what's going to happen this Sunday, and be sure you join us.
I think we forgot a match.
Okay. What was the match?
Owens versus
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. I skipped over that, folks. I must be stoned out of my mind. Yeah. Now, again, this should be a great match because the two have such good chemistry. They are long life true friends behind the behind the scenes. And I think right now with Zayn coming up, I wouldn't be surprised if Owens does give it to Zayn. Andy, you were about to say something. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Sami Zayn all the way. If they don't give it Sami Zayn, then the WWE ain't got a clue what they're doing about wrestling.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Lynch, your thoughts?
I'm going to call this now. Match of the night.
Piss break.
Shut your ass, you Kevin Owens hating bastard. Anyway, I'm giving this to Zayn.
And that's for the other antagonist, Andy, who loves to kind of just throw those extra ribs in. Joe, your thoughts?
You know what? I got to go the opposite way, guys. I got to say Kevin Owens. He's been on the receiving end of a lot of losses lately and very few wins. I think this is another situation where you're going to see them trying to extend this feud. So I'm giving it to the knockout man himself.
All right. And that's going to wrap up this edition for our Payback picks. And right now we want to know, you, the wrestling fans, the hardcore wrestling radio fans, your thoughts. Who are you looking to win? Who do you want to see? What titles would you like to see change hands? Put your comments in the comment section below. You can also join us over in our HWR chat room, which is in the group sections on Facebook.com. I am your hardcore host. As always, I'd like to thank the hardcore crew for joining us. First, he's the son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, you over at StokeOnTrent.com. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, we've got a investigation coming up in a couple of weeks' time where we are like a little mouse in a windmill. Into a windmill. First time I've ever been inside a windmill. And then about a month or so later, early June, we go into a nuclear fallout bunker, which was used in the Second World War, and hopefully sit in the pilot seat of a Lancaster bomber. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I'm dead excited. So check us out on www.stokehaunted.com and subscribe to the YouTube video, because all subscribers will get first chance of seeing me fly the Lancaster bomber on the ground.
And then we have Lance. He's over at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. Lance, what's going on over at Lance Moss TV?
Well, the album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, redneck gourmet cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, I've just started a series of on a guitar build, and every Wednesday night I go live with Lance Moss TV and friends. Subscribe if you hadn't, and hit me up on Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV.
Last and certainly not least, is Joseph Knight. Joe, you're over at DK Retro. You and I have been doing several reviews together, from movie reviews, some classic TV reviews, and we're even working on the Punch-Out series, Joe.
Absolutely. We now are venturing into the NES version of the Punch-Out series. But before that, fans can check me out on DK Retro and Facebook.com groups, DK Retro. You can also follow me on my Twitter account, which I've been really active lately, which is at JKnightCWA. You can also follow me on Facebook alone, on Facebook.com, Joseph Knight Manager. Again, Rick, this Friday we're going to start with the NES Punch-Out.